Okay guys, welcome to my How to Hold series, and in this video we're going to be looking at Mirage, and we're going to be looking at the short B area of Mirage, or the catwalk, the place leading from middle into the B area. So we'll be looking at timings, angles, positions, grenade usages, pushing, and terrorist afterplant positions as well. So we'll start off with defining what the short B area is. So the short B area in Mirage comprises of the B bomb site and the bit out to the ladder room into a window. And this is coming from middle into the B site, or more specifically, this area of the B site, from the catwalk onto B. We will not be covering the apartments into B in this video. I've covered that in a previous video which you can go and have a look at. So now let's look at some timings. We'll look at counter-terrorist timings, and the meeting angle. So for counter-terrorists, for a good spawn, they can get to the edge of the ladder room or at the bricks in about 12 seconds or so. Terrorists with a good spawn can run up catwalk, run up mid, and get to that corner as well in about 12 seconds if they do it quickly. Usually this doesn't happen, as they usually take time to clear out window and connector. But if they're going for a straight rush, this is where you'll meet. They both have good spawns. So the meeting angle would be in the doorway leading to ladder room. So now let's look at angles, aggressive and defensive angles. So the aggressive angle is all the way up mid, then there's just outside, and then there's to the cutout area, and then there's the doorway to ladder room, there's at the bricks, and there's the middle of the long hall there, the end of it, a diagonal one from the apartments if you're watching from there, and then cross sites depending where you're watching, if you're watching truck or you're watching on one of the boxes on site. Now let's have a look at positions, aggressive positions, defensive positions, one kill positions and orbing positions. So there's the aggressive positions all around the ladder room area, so in the ladder room outside, watching up mid, and then the more common positions are around the cutout there at the pillar, and then there's back of B and at the bench, and you can even hold in the apartments as well. So let's have a look at these positions in game. So the first position here is a very aggressive position, holding straight up mid. You do have to worry about underpass if you're watching here. You can also boost up on top of the... you can hold in ladder room here as well. This is pretty good because you can fall out into ladder room. So you can either hold aggressive or defensive in ladder room, or even further defensive. If you get control of mid, these are good spots to hold, as they can stop people coming up mid. And then you can hold watching connector, and this is a more defensive position, but you can be shot from cutout there. You're going to hold behind the wall here, which works quite well. On site, you can hold. Either of these left side of the sites is good. Right side you can get caught from apartments too easily, and then back at bench is a really defensive position. Apartments up here, if you want to hold both short and apartments at the same time, you can hold from here. AWPing positions, you can AWP from window. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can hold down mid with that. You can AWP from connector to short, unless they completely smoke you off, but most people get that smoke wrong, so there usually is a gap. And you can AWP all the way back at bench here, or concrete. This is a pretty decent AWPing position if you have someone holding apartments for you. Now let's have a look at grenades. We're going to look at smoke grenades, splash grenades, and incendiary grenades. So you can smoke off just outside of the bricks from anywhere around here, and this will just smoke people off coming into short. This one smokes off the doors to the ladder room, so it doesn't allow them in the ladder room, which is a good position to hold as CTs, so your pit person in window doesn't get flanked very easily. If you want to give up ladder room, you can just smoke the other side of the bricks. This gives up ladder room, but it does smoke off short to B quite nicely. They can boost over the bricks, so just be careful. If you're behind the wall here, the smoke can be even closer to you, so you can actually see people pushing through it. This does give them control up to the bricks, but now you don't need to worry about the boost off bricks as much, as the smoke is now in front of that boost. On site, you can throw exactly the same smoke, and you can watch it. It's going to land in the same position. Again, you shouldn't need to worry about the boost on bricks. if you throw the smoke and you do need to worry about it, just bring the smoke forward a bit. And then way back on site you can throw a smoke. This one's a bit of a run smoke, just be careful you get it in the middle, not towards one side, otherwise they can just walk around the smoke quite easily. And again, you don't have to worry about the boost on bricks. The problems with these smokes is that they can actually run through 3 or 4 at a time, and then you could only really get one, because they can run through at different angles. And even in apartments you can smoke. So this then lets you watch the apartments area rather than the short area, so you can smoke one, watch the other quite easily. Flashes, there's lots of flashes you can flash mid with, so you can bounce it off the wall, flashing people running up top mid. So if you have a good spawn and you think they're taking mid a bit slow, you can do that flash. You can flash off the B sign for people up by the boxes up here. This one they can see coming, so just be careful. But it does flash people in this cutout area, right in the face. You can flash between the gap in the buildings. You've got to get it pretty high and pretty far, otherwise it will flash between the buildings and not flash anyone. But it does flash most of the area of top middle here. You can use the little ledge on the building to flash over as well. This does also flash everywhere, pretty much in middle. It'll also flash people in underpass looking towards top middle, but it will not flash them if they're looking towards short or connector. If you're here, you can do an overhand flash over the top of the buildings. This is quite a good flash, but just make sure it doesn't flash any of your teammates on the site. You can also do an underhand flash. This one's a bit easier to see, but it will flash less of your teammates. You can do an underhand flash over the box here, which is quite good. Flash peek out, you can pull back if needed. You can also flash hitting the box behind you as well. If you want to, you can flash through the roof of the bomb site with a dual-handed flash. Just be careful, it's a bit fiddly, but it pretty much flashes the same as that underhand flash would go. If you're back at bench, you can use the back wall to throw a flashbang that lands in about the middle of the B bomb site. This only flashes people if they're about where I'm standing here, rather than if they're close to the bomb site. You can do an underhand flash, which will flash people closer to the bomb site, and that will land right in front of the bench. Just be careful, if they see you throw the flashbang, they can spam through the bench. An overhand flashbang can flash. This only works if they're close enough and at the right angle, and it can kind of clip the arch a bit little, so just be careful. From apartments, you can throw flashes just down short. Any flash will do as long as it gets past the wall, and it will flash most people coming out of the short area. Molotovs are mostly for delaying here. So you can Molotov up here. They will notice exactly where you throw the Molotov, so you're kind of stuck once you throw that Molotov. This Molotov allows you to reposition yourself onto the B site if you're getting rushed or something. Same with this Molotov. So you can throw it either in front of the doorway or behind the doorway, to ladder room, whichever you wish. They just allow you to reposition, mostly behind this wall, or behind a pillar or onto the site. And again, you can Molotov from behind the wall, allowing you to reposition onto the site. Maybe they're coming apartments and you want to split them up, so you Molotov short and then watch apartments. From site, you can throw a Molotov as well. Now this is more of a delay Molotov. This Molotov doesn't quite go as far, but it just delays them getting onto the site. It won't delay them shooting you, so just watch out for that. From apartments, you can throw Molotovs, and then you can watch apartments. However, they will see where this one comes from, and they can call out to their apartment guys that you're there. But you can pull down to truck. So now we're going to talk about pushing, the benefits and detriments. So you can push up top mid towards the left-hand side, towards T-spawn. This allows people to run through apartments, or then back to A. This does give you control of mid, which is quite good. And then it can let people, but if you do not have a strong B holder, you can then leave B quite open. But this is a very good pushing position if you can get away with it. You can push through into connector to help out A site. Again, this is good if you've got a good B hold. And then it allows you to get a bit of control of middle, and it allows you to reinforce the A bomb site quite nicely. A probably not as good push is the underpass push. The big problem with this one is that you're pushing to help out B, but you're leaving B open. So as soon as they spot that, they can either take you out easily, but from middle or from the apartments, or just push into B and not worry about you. So now we're going to talk about Terra staff plant positions, the aggressive ones and the defensive ones. So this is more of an aggressive afterplant position, as if they spot you out here you can get stuck. This is probably a default one, just be wary of the window to kitchen. And now more on site, this one you can watch both sides quite easily. And then back here, quite a defensive one. You can spot short from there. From truck you can also hold. Again, keep your teammates notified of where you're playing so they can adjust their positions based on that. And you can hold way back in apartments waiting for a bomb defusal. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.